So today we're going to be talking about breeding fish for profit, and specifically what my favourite species are to breed for profit. I've made this video in the past and it did do quite well. Now there's a few things I want to revise with that video. As you can see behind me, I've actually got a little fish shop that I'm building out at the moment. If you guys want to see the build, there's going to be videos up top left, right corner, whatever. Since I'm building a shop and I will be looking for some local breeders to supply the shop, I thought I'd give some of the people like in my local area an idea of what I'm after. I'm pretty much after anything if you can breed it, but some of the best things to breed for profit in my opinion. I've done a lot of breeding for other shops and I will still try and supply other shops if I'm breeding enough out the back of my fish room because I have a big breeding area. We'll see though. But yeah, I do breed a lot and I've got a little bit of experience. Now when it comes to breeding fish, it's not about money, and there's very few people that are going to make a ton of money, and to be honest, I haven't made a mountain of money from breeding fish. Like I made a little bit, but a lot of my money's obviously come from content and all that kind of stuff. So I haven't made millions and millions of dollars of just breeding fish. Like it's kind of come hand in hand with having a YouTube channel, and that's just thanks to you guys. So that's just to get things out of the way. You can definitely pay for your hobby and you can definitely make a little bit of money, but if you really want to turn this into like making 500 grand a year, you're going to need to like probably give up or have a fish room that's absolutely massive and do everything perfectly, and it's a 24/7 job if you do it at that point. So if you're doing it for a hobby, you can definitely breed things to make a little bit of side money and upgrade things in the fish room and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So that's just the first thing. Like, I'm not saying that I'm a master fish breeder for profit, and a lot of the stuff I've been able to do is because of my content. I'd also quickly like to say that these aren't in like any particular order. So like these are just, you know, the top 7 or whatever. With that out of the way, let's get into it. The first fish on my list is going to be Apistos. Apistogrammas have a really like soft spot in my heart because they were kind of the first fish that I bought and tried to breed for a little bit of money. That was kind of in that $30 range. So these guys will go about 50 bucks a pair to 30 bucks a pair, even up to like 100 bucks a pair. My favorites are the double red or triple red Cacatoides, or the orange flash, or the goldfire Agassizias. Now there's hundreds of different types of Apistos. They're cave dwelling fish, they're soft water fish, and they're from the Amazon. They are pretty easy to breed if you get them in the right environment. So if you get them in like really soft water with a low pH and keep it a little bit warm, you have to throw a cave in there, they will breed. And for the most part, the mum will take care of the babies, and it's a really easy fish to breed if you get them in the right environment. Now, these are a good one to breed because when you're breeding fish, you don't want to breed like tiger barbs or danios and things like that, because fish shops can just get those so easily from other farms. You want to breed something that's a little bit harder for them to get, that still looks good and is in that medium price range. So these guys fit really well into that criteria because they're a little bit higher price. If a shop's selling them for 50 bucks a pair, you can probably sell them for 20 bucks a pair, maybe even 15, but that's still really good if you have like 50 of them. Yeah, they'll have batches of about 50 times 15 bucks each is a decent profit, and they're not too hard to breed. So that's my first fish. The second fish is going to be Bristlenose. Now, Bristlenose are in pretty much everyone's aquarium, and they're super easy to breed. If you get a male and a female together, put them with a cave, they're going to breed. They prefer softer water, but I've put them on this list because firstly, you can breed just the common ones, and you're going to get like 100 fry every month, and you can sell those for, I think here in Brisbane, they're selling for about $2 each. Sometimes you might get a bit more, sometimes you might get less, but retail they're about $9, I think. Maybe sometimes they're about $8. So that's just the common ones, and that includes the albinos. But you can really make a lot of money when you start getting some rarer ones. So like longfin ones or super red ones. Now, I'm not too sure what prices you can expect to get for those. Keep in mind this video is like in my local area, so that's all I really know about, but they can be really good. They're super easy to breed, they breed themselves and they take care of their own fry. All you have to do is raise up the fry to about that 3 to 5 centimeter size and you'll be sweet. The third thing on my list is rare Plecos. So these kind of tie into the Bristlenose, where they breed the same way. They're a little bit more tricky to breed, but you'll have a lot higher yield. These guys retail from pretty much the lowest being about 80 bucks each to anywhere to about 500 bucks each, depending on the different types of Plecos. The thing with these guys and the catch is that they take 2.5 years to sexually mature, and they're not the easiest to breed when they get to that size. So they're not just like the Bristlenose where you throw them in water and they're going to breed for you straight away. These guys, you need to actually, you know, alter the water a little bit and get it pretty soft and into the right environment for them to breed. I've had a little bit of success with the L333s and the L201s, but some of the other ones I still haven't really got to breed yet, and hopefully in this new room I can breed them. We'll see what happens, but these rare Plecos, there's tons of them. You'll have to do your own research. Some of my personal favourites are the L46, the L134, the L397, L201, and the L333s are pretty cool. But yeah, do your own research. I don't have enough time to mention all the different types in this video, but if you're more of an experienced aquarist and you've already bred some other things like, you know, your normal Bristlenose and maybe some Apistos, and you're looking for a little bit more of a challenge, maybe go for these guys. Keep in mind, if you fail and you've spent, you know, $500 on fish, it's a lot bigger of a loss than if you spent $100. Yeah, that's just my opinion. So maybe have a crack at it. Okay, and then the fourth thing on my list is going to be cichlids. Now, I actually haven't bred African cichlids before. I want to give it a try in this new room, but they've just never been something I've wanted to breed, but I know for a fact that you can do pretty well out of them. So they are pretty easy to breed, from what I know. Keep in mind, I haven't kept them. But I know a lot of people who've bred heaps and heaps of different types of Africans, so like Manganos, electric yellows, things like that. And I've done pretty good. I think they sell for about $5 each, depending on like what types they are. But they're pretty easy to breed and they're pretty fun to breed. And I think a lot of people do make like a little bit of money from it. So the best way to do it is to like set up a system for it and then just kind of have a routine and just continually breed them on rotation. And then after you've grown up your first batch, you should get a little cash flow. You might get an arrangement with a shop and you might be able to sell them 50 a month. And then you might have another shop and you sell another 50 a month for, you know, $5. And then over time that kind of builds up. I just put them on this list because I put discus on my last list and I don't think that people should be breeding discus because I found it really, really challenging. Some people are obviously going to make money out of discus, but I thought these guys would substitute really well. And I think they're a little bit easier. So cichlids. And then the fifth thing on my list is going to be guppies and endlers. So I've bunched these two together because they breed the same. They're both live bearers. When I say guppies and endlers, I don't just mean like assorted guppies and endlers. I mean you find like a strain and then you breed that and supply that to a few different shops. When I talk about strains, I talk about things like blue star endlers, you know, whatever's popular in your area. 24K gold guppies, like sell them in pairs. Things like that that are a little bit different from the normal and more of like a hobbyist product rather than like, you know, a beginner product, because fish shops can get guppies from anywhere in the world and they can get them for pennies. So you need something that's like a strain that people are going to want to buy for a little bit of a higher end price, so like 20 bucks a pair. What I recommend doing is finding like a strain and specializing in it. I've seen a guy called Kamiyuki Backyard who does like sunset microrif guppies, and I watched him when I was like 14. Do something like that guy where, you know, you're breeding a certain species of guppy and you're breeding a really, really high quality one. Whoever you're selling them to constantly knows exactly what they're going to get every time. You take care of the strain, you have a fun time line breeding this fish and making it look the best. Meanwhile, you're making a little bit of money from selling, you know, 10 pairs a week, 5 to 10 bucks a pair. So over time that does add up. But yeah, like a rare guppy is a really easy thing to breed because you can just throw them in a tank, let them breed and just harvest as you want, or you can line breed them, whatever. But guppies, endlers are really, really good to breed in my opinion for profit. Okay, we're getting down to the end of the list here. And the second last thing on the list is going to be shrimp. So these aren't a fish, I know. Well, anyways, shrimp are a really, really good one to breed as well for the exact same reasons as the guppies. If you can get yourself a strain, like a blue strain or a yellow strain or a red strain, or crystal reds or things like that, you can get a really good rapport with a shop and sell them 30 a week or 20 a week of different types of shrimp. So shrimp are really easy to breed once you get them in the right environment. You're going to get heaps and heaps of breeding going on and you can just pull out of that colony as you need. Some of the rarer shrimp are probably what I'd go for. The reason I say that is because they can also just get these from overseas pretty easily. So if you can find like a rare strain of shrimp, all you need to do is throw them in a tank, they're gonna breed for you, and they're very, very low maintenance once you've got them set up. They can be a really, really good option for some people who want to get into breeding. And if you're gonna get started on breeding, I'd probably start here because these guys will just breed themselves once they're in the right environment. You don't really need to do anything, and people always want shrimp. Anyways, yeah, shrimp are a really, really good one to breed for profit. And then the last one on my list is going to be Corydoras. So Corys can be also a really, really good one to breed for profit because they are pretty prolific. And if you can get yourself something rare or like a bit more high end, like a gold laser Cory, you can sell those for 15 bucks each to a shop and you can breed like 100 at a time. It's not like all easy, like it is challenging to breed fish, but if you can get yourself something that's a little bit more rare, you can make a lot of money with it. Yeah, gold laser Cory is really cool. Even if you got into like axle rod eyes or things like that, you could also do pretty well. But even breeding just easy to breed Corys, like a panda Cory, like that little mid-range kind of price, like 5 bucks to 10 bucks each, you can do pretty well. I wouldn't recommend breeding peppered Corys, albinos or bronzes because they can get those also anywhere. They're a little bit more easy to breed on like a massive scale. so farms breed them, and there's not a lot of money for hobbyists to make there, but Corys are also really good ones. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys learnt something, and I'll see you guys in the next one.